This is Aura by Astra. My name is Joshi. This is Protein's first trifecta targeting the gut, mind, and health body trifecta. We have three different products. It's a drinkable version, a spoonable, and a vegan version. The drinkable and spoonable are dairy-based and the vegan is plant-based. And it's designed for the $2 trillion Gen Z wellness economy. So before I show you what it is, let me show you why it needs to exist. So 40% of Gen Z feel that they're always almost stressed, and 59% say gut health is vital. So that's already a big market that we can target. And like I said, $2 trillion global wellness market, and that's on track to grow even more every year. And the paradox I found is that Gen Z, they're buying three different products. Ashwagandha supplement, which is a cortisol reducer, or they're using products with L-theanine. They're buying probiotic drinks like Liquid IV and all that. And they're doing this all separately because there's no one product that combines all of that. And that's what I found is the wellness paradox, and that's the white space that I'm targeting. So this is kind of like our competitive summary. So key gaps are oikos and ratio protein. These are mainly just gym coded, and they focus mainly on macros. There's no adaptogen or no story behind it. And then Siggy's is also a competitor, although me personally, I don't know if you guys have seen Siggy's a lot in the DFW market, but it's a good company because they have a clean label, low sugar, but what they're lacking is functional add-ins. There's no adaptogens as well in that. Low protein, like I said, and Lifeway Kefir, also low protein, no adaptogen story. They don't focus on the Gen Z market that is always stressed, but they do have probiotics and gut health. Like I said, no adaptogens. And then Too Good and Chobani. These we do see in the DFW market more. But me personally, like if I go to Kroger, I see a bunch of Chobani like unsold because I feel that they're selling at a really high premium price and they appeal to like too broad of a market instead of the Gen Z, the stressed Gen Z market. No functional narrative as well, and no protein dairy simultaneously owns the protein, probiotics, and adaptogen stress issue. And the Innova's top food and beverage trends for 2026 were Powerhouse Protein, Gut Health Hub, and Mind Balance. And Aura is the only one that is built on all of those three. So our primary audience is wellness seekers, so Gen Z, ages 18 to 26. And wellness is their identity. It's not just a habit. So 78% is the most important, that they're gut aware and they want protein that also addresses the stress issue and gut health. 61% want adaptogens who are managing separate supplements. And then 72% also always check the nutrition label before buying. And this is primary research from an informal study of 18 DFW college students, mainly from UTA, UTD, TCU, SMU. Our secondary audience is the busy campus and young professionals. This includes and it would be really good if you had a on-the-go, satisfactory, cleaner choice versus the energy drinks that we're bombarded with. And this is reachable by many campus channels. That's where we plan to launch our product, first local campuses. And then we also wanted to target the vegan and flexitarian. This also includes and 32% of younger shoppers follow a plant-based or flexitarian diet. And that trend is growing increasingly among young individuals. And we serve this without being a separate brand. So this is our product. First, we got the Aura Drinkable. It's a kefir style based protein, 20 grams of protein, priced at $3.99 to $4.49. Our second one is an Aura Spoonable. It's a Greek yogurt. You can have this as a desk snack. It's a slower thing to eat. Also 20 grams of protein, $2.99, $3.49. And then we have a vegan option, plant-based. This is, the protein comes from the hemp and pea protein. We have the chocolate rishi flavor. Also for these ones, we have blueberry, lavender, vanilla bean, and then mango turmeric and we're also planning to have matcha honey. The vegan one has 18 grams of protein. All include ashwagandha, KSM66 variation. I'll talk more about that later. 300 milligrams because that's a clinically proven dose. They're all clean labels, no artificial sweetener, monk fruit sweetened, low sugar. Our tagline is Nourish the Whole You. So I'm not sure if you're aware of the round one phase we had to do, but the judges gave me some feedback and I'd like to address it directly. So dairy is the gold standard carrier, and let's see. Yeah, I want to talk about KSM 66 again. Why the judges questioned, like, can we put probiotics, adaptogens, and make it still like at a very good price point? Like, is it really feasible to make this? And I wanted to emphasize that yes, it is, because KSM 66 is a heat stable and fat soluble adaptogen. It's a KSM 66. It's the most clinically researched variation of ashwagandha. And then for the vegan, we use prebiotics. Probiotics are like live cultures and bacteria, and prebiotics is what feeds these live cultures and bacteria. And so we use chicory root inulin in these plant-based formulas. In the vegan variant, a technically sound label honest choice. And then the taste, the KSM 66, it's nearly tasteless formula. And then our flavor, like I said, for the drinkable, we have the mango, turmeric, and matcha honey. It's just there to complement the base, not just mask it. And so, like I said, we had to revise the price point. We did increase it because we are using more organic and premium products. All of these are refrigerated products, by the way. So our anchor price is $4.49, $5.49 for the drinkable, and then it's in line with Clever Brands and Four Sigmatic, which I'll talk about more if you don't know. But they're still priced at a premium but accessible point. And then where we'll start is DFW campuses, UT Arlington, TCU, SMU. That's where I got my primary research from. And there's a lot of demand in these markets, sampling, and then direct-to-consumer subscriptions. And then from there, once we continue growing our demand, Whole Foods and Target, that will also shift more of the risk to these retailers because we also have refrigerated, our products are refrigerated. So once we can scale, that will just make it a whole lot easier. Proven functional dairy co-manufacturers are available. And then after that, we'll go to Whole Foods, which is more wellness-based, and then Target, TikTok, micro-influencer campaigns. And when you TikTok, it's a social media, but Gen Z, they view these micro-influencers more as friends than just social media. So this is just, I'm re-emphasizing more of what we learned. And this is KSM 66. There's a lot of skepticism behind this, but in a 60-day random control trial, it was realized that KSM 66 ashwagandha versus a placebo actually reduced serum cortisol by 27.9%, which is very significant. And also, I want to emphasize that 41% of wellness spend is driven by Gen Z and millennials, despite being only 36% of the population. I've emphasized this earlier too. Innova top food and beverage trends, which are three, the main pillars of Aura: gut health, protein, and mind balance. And then we could also cover a bigger market than the Gen Z because 59% say that gut health is very important, and 60% of consumers are actively including more protein in their diet. So how do we win Gen Z? TikTok micro-influencers is a big way to break into that. Our brand personality is confidence, and we're kind of like that friend that has everything together. Our packaging, like you saw earlier, is kind of a matte finish, a bottle club, earthy gradient colors, and we're emphasizing the high protein, the ashwagandha, and the live cultures, and we'll have a QR code to all the ingredients to be as transparent as possible. And then again, our channel strategy, we'll start at campuses, we'll reach out to social media influencers. We'll market into the retail, and then from there, direct to. We want to always have a direct to consumer subscription. And then also Four Sigmatic and Cleaver brands. Their Four Sigmatic is $100+ million brand. What they did is they have a similar kind of story to us. Is they wanted to focus more on the calm and calm effect on Gen Z. And what they did is they put adaptogens and mushrooms into coffee. Cleaver Brands also makes lattes focused on that. So that's just a proof that Aura is able to do that in a market that's because they've already warmed it up. So why Aura? Well, the market is ready. The top food and beverage trends are our main three pillars, and 78% of Gen Z students want protein that goes beyond macros. And then dairy plus probiotics is industry proven. KSM 66, like I said, is the most clinically proven variation of ashwagandha and is very available at scale. And DFW launched through Whole Foods campus channel is very realistic and low risk. And I remember Mr. Hook also said if you had a lot of money from investors, I would also go beyond. If we had a lot of investors, I'd go market into the online space as well. So, maybe refrigerating trucks would also be a good option because it shifts the risk to our manufacturers or our vendors. Sorry. So, our tagline is Nourish the Whole You. That's Aura by Astra. Thank you for your time.